Welcome to Old Man Sports Talk. I'm your host, Old Man Nate, and it's post game of the Oklahoma West Virginia game. What a game the Oklahoma Sooners put on today. Best performance they have had by far in the Big 12 Conference. Even better than the OU Texas game. Um, yeah, they won 34-30 over Texas. That was a much tougher opponent, I would say. But top to bottom, more impressive win today than even the Texas win. 59-20 was the final score here today as the Sooners beat the Mountaineers and send the Mountaineers back to West Virginia, with their third conference loss. Excuse me. Um, so more before we get into the game, let's talk about scores across the country right now. Right now, Texas is in front of TCU by 10 with a little about 4 minutes to go in the game. Uh, LSU's up on Florida by 10. About 6.5 minutes to go in the game. North Carolina's up on Duke by 5 with 9:40 to go in the game. USC and Oregon are just kicking off. So finals for the day: Michigan beat number 10 Penn State 24-15. Alabama beat Kentucky 49-21. Kansas was upset by Texas Tech 16-13. Tulane squeaked by Tulsa 24-22. Arizona beat Colorado 34-31. Kansas State routs Baylor 59-25. Florida State escapes Miami 27-20. Number 5 Washington remains unbeaten with a win over number 18 Utah 35-28. Number 13 Tennessee leaves Columbia, Missouri with a loss 36-7 over they lost number 14 Missouri. Number 15 Oklahoma State must have spent too much time at Disney World because they got routed by UCF 45-3. Number 22 Iowa beats Rutgers 22-0. Number 12 Oregon State puts it on Stanford 62-17. Number 2 Georgia made a statement as to why they should be number 1, puts it on number 9 Ole Miss 52-17. Number 1 Washington State beats number 1 Ohio State beats Michigan State 38-3. And in that game, only 3 points were scored in the entire second half. And on Thursday night, number 11 Louisville beat Virginia 31-24. And again, number 17 Oklahoma beats West Virginia 59-20. Let's take a look at that game. And get some stats real quick. So for West Virginia, Garrett Green finished the game 10-27 for 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Nico Marshall came in the game. He was 0 for 4, but did throw an interception. He did complete 1 pass. It was the wrong team. Donaldson, who ended up getting hurt but looked like he's probably going to be all right, carried the ball 14 times for 79 yards and a touchdown. And then they had a couple other guys. Jaheim White carried it 9 times for 39. And Garrett Green, their quarterback, carried it 10 times for 24 yards. Leading the receiving was Devin Carter, who caught 3 passes for 67 yards and a touchdown. Traylon Ray and Preston Fox both caught 2 passes. Traylon Ray for 56 yards and Preston Fox for 15. Leading tackler for the Mountaineers was Anthony Wilson, who had 11 total tackles, 8 of them being solo. Great game for him. In passing, Dylan Gabriel, 23 of 36, 423 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He was the only quarterback to throw a pass today. Bevel came in on the Oklahoma's last drive, but did not even attempt to pass. Rushing, Gavin Sawchuk, 22 carries, 135 yards. 30 was his longest. Dylan Gabriel carried it 11 times for 50 yards, 23 of those being his longest. And other running backs that carried it, Dalen Smothers carried it 2 times for 6, and Tawee Walker carried it once for -2 yards. His ankle must not be back to normal. Receiving, another great day for Drake Stoops. 10 catches, a career high, 164 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Nick Anderson also caught 4 passes for 119 yards, and Austin Stogner also caught 4 passes for 69 yards and a touchdown. And Jaden Gibson, 2 passes and he also got another touchdown. Leading tackler for the Sooners was none other than Danny Stutzman. He had 8 total tackles, 3 of them being solo, and 2 of them tackles for loss. Billy Bowman and Robert Spears Jennings and Kip Lewis also right behind Danny Stutzman with 7 tackles. Great performance by the Sooners today. Very impressed. Very, very impressed with the Sooners. TCU has scored late in the game and cut it to a field goal game. It's 29-26. Texas holding on. Again, if you're not here at Twin Peaks hanging out with Old Nate, you're in the wrong spot. Twin Peaks, 6500 Southwest 3rd Street in Oklahoma City. We will be here every game day, every OU game day. So we only got 2 regular season games left. So we don't know what time we'll be here next week, but an hour before OU's game, we will be right here at Twin Peaks. Now, here's the thing. OU plays at BYU next Saturday. I don't know the game time, but I'm going to guess it's going to be one of 2 things. It's either going to be a 2:30 game or a 6 o'clock game. I would almost bet my paycheck it's not going to be an 11 a.m. game, because that would mean it's a 9 a.m. game in Utah. I just don't think they would make that would happen. All right. So I think it'll probably be an afternoon game. That would still be a 12:30 kickoff there in BYU. But, and I say that because BYU is not in the hunt for a Big 12 championship or any type of championship. So I don't think it'll be a prime time game. At least this game, the loser is pretty much eliminated from the Big 12 championship. The loser today, right? West Virginia and Oklahoma, the loser is pretty much eliminated because there's just so many people in the mix for second place. It'd be almost impossible for West Virginia now to get back in that race. I don't see it happen. So let's take a look at the Big 12 standings. Let me get these up real quick. Here we go. We got them right here. So again, if Texas holds on to win this game, they'll improve to 6-1. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Kansas State are all tied at 5-2. Iowa State still has to play tonight, and so if they win, they'll improve to 5-2, and that would leave 3 teams. And again, if all 3 of these teams went out, I don't know how it will be decided who gets the bid in there for the Big 12 championship. We'd have to figure that out. Well, not me. I won't figure it out. And if Iowa State wins today, goes to 5-2. Now Iowa State still has to play Kansas State and Texas, right? So their last 2 games are going to be Kansas State and Texas. So that's going to be a tough chore right there for them. Heck, if they manage to win both those games, they might just automatically get included in the Big 12 championship. That would also throw a tie in there with Texas, right? Because they would have a loss too. Wow. Well, it would eliminate Kansas State, add Texas, and Oklahoma State and Oklahoma win out. That would be a four-way tie between Texas, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Iowa State. Which two would go, I don't know. But Texas got to hold on. They got 2 minutes to go in this game. 3rd and 12 right here, a big play. I tell you what, if TCU gets a stop right here, it's going to come down here. But anyways, next week, let's take a look at the schedule for next week between the Big 12. Here we go. So Oklahoma State is going to travel to Houston. Kansas State's going to play at Kansas. That's going to be a big game. Again, Oklahoma to BYU. Oh, here's the pass. And he caught it. That's the ball game. That is the ball game. Baylor is going to play at TCU. Look at this again. See if he make sure he caught it. Yeah, he caught it. UCF at Texas Tech, Cincinnati at West Virginia, and Texas at Iowa State. So that's a 7 o'clock game. That game's already been determined. It's going to play on Fox. So, yeah. So Texas, Iowa State are going to play each other. Kansas State and Kansas are going to play each other. And then Oklahoma State got to go to Houston, and Oklahoma's got to go to BYU. So big games next week before we head into the last week of regular season. That's a great catch. Great catch. Anyways, so Sooners pulled off today. They're off. Let's take a look at remember I talked about for the game. Keys to victory. Stop the running game. All right. So let's take a look how the Sooners did on the running game. They held. So overall, West Virginia ran the ball 41 times for 176 yards. Pretty good. They were averaging rushing. They were averaging 218 yards. They were averaging 227 in the Big 12. The Sooners held them below their average. Okay. Second key to victory. Offense has to show up. The offense today had a total of 644 yards. 0 turnovers. Yes, third down. It looks like about. Oh, you get back there. Third and about 3 yards. But the clock is running. TCU is out of timeout. So a first down here and it's ball game, and maybe even already be ball game. They can take it down to 3rd and 3. They could take it down to it's already at 55 seconds. Yeah, I think that's ball game. I don't think that yeah. Yeah, that's ball game. That's ball game. They don't have to snap the ball again. Ball game. So Texas holds on to win. They're going to improve here. Let's look at it real quick. We're going to look at the standings again. Texas is going to improve to 6-1. So now Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Kansas State are all tied at 5-2. And we'll see what happens to Iowa State tonight. Is Iowa State has to play. Take a look at that real quick. Iowa State, they're already up 17-7 on BYU. So, yeah, Iowa State holds on to win. They'll be tied. They're also at 5-2. That'd be Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Kansas State, and Iowa State. All tied at 5-2. Iowa State holds on to win. And that would bring up to next week's game where Texas goes to Iowa State. That'll be a big game. If Iowa State was to win that game, then you would have 1, 2, and then everybody else wins their game. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, all at 6-2. So heading into the last week, wow, this Big 12 is getting crazy. But again, people got to win. Oklahoma State got Houston. Oklahoma's got BYU. Kansas State's got Kansas. And then Iowa State and Texas play each other next week. So a win by Texas next week automatically puts them in the Big 12 championship. Let me see here. Let me make sure that's right. They wouldn't hold a tiebreaker over Oklahoma State. They wouldn't hold it over Oklahoma. They would over Kansas State. And then they would over Iowa State. So I don't know. But a win would eliminate Iowa State. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it kind of does, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. Oh, LSU's pulling away from Florida. 2 minutes to go. They're going to win that game. Duke is now up on North Carolina 29-26. Oregon jumps out on USC already 7-0. So the second thing we talk about, stop the running game. The Sooners did a great job holding the let me get back over here and we find the game again. Again, holding the West Virginia to 176 rushing yards. The Sooners had 221 rushing yards. I said offense has to show up. They had 644 total yards today, 5 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, all 3 of them by Dillon Gabriel, by the way. So great job offensively. I really, honestly, I didn't have any problem at all with the play calling. We only punted the ball 1 time, I believe. Let me look here. No, I said we punted 3 times. Okay. All right. All right. I thought we only punted once, but I guess punted 3 times. So great job offensively. And I said, Lebby, no gimmick plays. I don't remember. Well, I mean, he did a jet sweep. It's in his arsenal every week. But I don't remember seeing no snaps with the running back. Don't remember seeing, I mean, a jet sweep is kind of reverse, not really a reverse. I don't remember seeing any, really no gimmick plays. So great job by that. We controlled the game offensively. Defense showed up. Bend don't break, which we've been in all season, but wasn't terrible. Look, total yards we gave up today. Let me see. That's 330 yards. 330 yards total our defense gave up. That's not too bad. That is not too bad at all. So anyways, great job by the Sooners. Don't know the time we'll play next week. Again, I'm expecting an afternoon game, but could be an evening game. I don't believe it'll be 11 o'clock start. All right. But we will be right back here at Twin Peaks again. All right, we're here every game day. An hour before the game, we're right here at Twin Peaks, 6500 Southwest 3rd Street in Oklahoma City. Come hang out with old man Nate. Come drink a beer. Come watch the game. We'd love to have you out here. All right. I'll drop my top 25 probably tomorrow. Maybe Monday. No later than Monday, though. Okay. Tuesdays, just so you know, the college football playoff top 25 will be released around 8 o'clock on Tuesday night because just like they do every year on the Tuesday night, it's usually I think it's about a week later. Usually it's Veterans Day week, but they've got 2 big basketball games that Tuesday night. They'll play one. Then in between games, that's when they'll release the college football top 25. Then they'll play the second game. All right. So I know Michigan State's playing the first game. I can't remember who they're playing. The second game, though, is Kansas and Kentucky. So tune into those games. probably, I think Michigan State probably playing Duke. They usually play somebody like that. So I appreciate you guys watching today, supporting Old Man Nate. If you haven't already, please go to oldmancoffee.shop. Get you some coffee. We got 47 different flavors of coffee. You can also get you a tumbler to drink your coffee in. We have a couple of different sizes and about 4 different colors. You can also get you an Old Man Sports Talk t-shirt to support Old Man Nate by buying tumblers and buying t-shirts and coffee. All right. I appreciate you guys, all your support I do get from you guys. We will be right here again next week. I'll hopefully know the time by the time I release my top 25. Again, once the time's released, I'll let everybody know what time we'll be here. But we're gonna be here an hour before the game. Come out, support Old Man Nate, watch the Sooners. Until then, though, we'll see you next time right here on Old Man Sports Talk.